TGCRequiem, we are back with Rakdos Reanimator, Black-Red Reanimator. We are 2-2. All of our wins and losses have been 2-0 or 0-2. We are on the draw here, or play here. Are we on the play? No, we're on the draw. And I think we're going to mulligan. If this was black, I would probably be more apt to keep it with the Blood Moons, but as it is, we don't have really any interaction. This is a bit better. Thoughtseize. I think we can keep a Thoughtseize on top. Might be a better turn one play than Faithless Looting at this point. It gives us a couple options. We got burn. All right. Finish strong. I think next turn we're probably going to be planning to play Pentad Prism, which means we're unlikely to really... I don't know. Pack Rat also seems bad here. I think we're actually going to pitch Pack Rat. Thoughtseize could actually buy us like just enough time to live through, you know, into a Through the Breach to win the game or something like that. Where Pack Rat, this game's just not going to come down to that. This game's going to be over too fast. Shrine of Burning Rage. Hunka Hunka Burning Shrine. So I think here what we're going to do is Pentad Prism. And then this will put us into a position to either Faithless Looting in the hopes of hitting a creature to Goryo's Vengeance next turn, or if we draw a creature, we can Through the Breach it. Opponent has at least 3 points in hand, potentially 4. So 3 points puts us down to 8. 4. I mean, the odds of us just being dead next turn if we don't go for this now are pretty high. So we are going to unfortunately not get there. We could discard the Faithless Looting in the hopes to do that again next turn, or cast it once. So I think we actually keep that. I can definitely pitch Thoughtseize. We get 1 Fatal Push. I mean, at this point we're not going to be Thoughtseizing either way we slice it. can use one counter off and still have the ability to do what we did last turn if we use one counter off the Pentad Prism. That's good. So if it was Boros Charm, we would definitely be dead. As it is, there is a tiny, tiny chance we can pull out of this. So they could throw 4 plus this 4 is 8. But if they have any removal, we're just done. Or any damage. So that's 3. Even if we kill this, that puts us down to 3 and then 5. So that's game. So Blood Moon's pretty bad. Thoughtseize isn't great. We definitely want Collective Brutality. I mean, it's highly unlikely that a Quicksilver Amulet is going to do it for us, but it's possible. I mean, Anger is feasible. I mean, well, Thoughtseize does lose you 2 life. It's going to gain you 1 to 2 life in terms of taking a key card. Honestly, if you take, you know, their only creature or an Eidolon, it might save you more than that. So it's not like it's the worst card ever. I do think we could bring 1 Anger in place of a Thoughtseize. We don't want to overload with them. And I think we could bring in a Rakdos Charm for a couple reasons. One, if they have artifact-based Graveyard Hate, it's going to be, you know, a hedge of or a way to destroy that. That's also potentially going to give us the ability to, say, do like 2 damage to the opponent if they have 2 or 3 attackers right before we Emrakul for the win. So that's what I'm thinking here. So we have access to turn 3 through the Breach with the Pentad Prism. Got a couple removal spells. I think we're going to keep this. I think if I were playing the Grixis version where I have all the filtering, I might not keep this. But as it is, that was an unnecessary fetch there. We didn't have to fetch yet. But as it is, the deck we have is designed to be more interactive in the early phases of the game, and the quickest way they're going to beat us is probably off creature draws, so we do have access to Fatal Push and Murderous Cut here. We also have Through the Breach to counter like a Relic of Progenitus type play. So we potentially could Through the Breach them this turn if we draw Emrakul or Grizzlebrand. Grizzlebrand would really probably be the best because it likely will set up a follow-up. I do kind of want to thin here, especially knowing that if we grizzle, excuse me, if we Emrakul rather, that we're not shuffling lands back into our deck. Alright, so at this point I think we just go with this. They don't have access to white, which is relevant because they cannot Deflecting Palm. And the opponent just concedes. Interesting. It's possible we would have gotten there, but far from guaranteed. Alright, so we get our first rubber match of the evening. We're going to be on the draw though, so we're going to need something pretty fast. Don't think that we want to do anything different with the sideboard. We're fighting for our buy-in. This seems good. Being able to looting into Grizzlebrand, Rakdos Charm, Fatal Push. I think this. I mean, the only way this would be better is if we had like a Collective Brutality in hand. The opponent has mulliganed. How about that? Beautiful. I think we can pitch the Marsh Flats now that we have the second swamp. Ideally the opponent plays a creature and we can Collective Brutality them pretty hard here. We don't want to run our second Grizzlebrand into the graveyard right now, unfortunately. I think we're just going to go... Well, I guess we only can cast it for 2 modes since they only have... or they don't have any creatures anyway. presumably they'll get a Sacred Foundry as their second land. Yeah, so put themselves to 16. We're going to put them to 14. They're probably going to throw a Boros Charm. Okay, Skullcrack, that makes sense. At least they offset our life gain. They still go down to 14. And the Boros Charm's with 4, but the Lightning Bolt is the most efficient spell they have. If we take that, they can't Rift Bolt and Lightning Bolt for 6 off 2 mana, so we'll just take the Lightning Bolt. And I think we just go for the Faithless Looting here. They don't have anything in hand that offsets the Grizzlebrand. We really need to draw into like a Goryo's Vengeance. In this case, I think we actually take... So they have 2 cards in hand. We know what they are. They're going to fire off Boros Charm. We're not going to be able to use the Thoughtseize, so we might as well pitch that. Sad as it is, we're kind of playing towards Rakdos Charm is unnecessary at this point from what we've seen. So we have Collective Brutality. We can play the Blood Crypt sideways next turn in case we need a to start building up to a Through the Breach. Can Lightning Helix us here? That would get us down to 7. Just hoping they don't have a Skullcrack is really what it comes down to. So Dragon Skull Summit better than Blood Crypt. Hopefully that's the only spell that they have in hand. Or, well, that they had 2 4-mana spells, but we still have the Fatal Push, so if they draw into a creature, we're kind of okay there. Oh man, what I wouldn't give for that extra land right now. Assuming our opponent's just sitting on another land. Yep. So one of their cards is a land, almost certainly. Relic is fine. They'll probably just crack it immediately. It's okay, we're in... Hey Goryo's Vengeance, thanks for showing up a turn too late. I mean, we're still in it. We're still fine. Okay, now that they've cycled that, they've given our Goryo's Vengeance life. Come on, land. Yeah. That's it. Well, it was fun while it lasted. Oh, if it's just Gabi, we can deal with Gabi. Let's think about this. We could Through the Breach Grizzlebrand, or we could Goryo's Vengeance Grizzlebrand off Pack Rat, creating Pack Rat tokens, which actually seems a little better in this position. Opponent's probably just baiting us. And the opponent conceded. I mean, I guess if they had nothing but lands in hand, then that makes sense. But, whew, didn't think we were necessarily out of the woodwork there. We would have been able to create a pretty quick clock for Pack Rat to close in the next turn or so. So, awesome. I thought maybe our opponent was just kind of playing with us and had a skull crack or something, or any sort of burn, and they were just waiting for us to make the first move. So anyway, we got the win, finish out 3-2. First time I played the deck, felt pretty good. Ran into kind of like a pretty janky matchup with Pillow Fort that, you know, the deck certainly wasn't good against. We beat Grizzlebrand, Esper Control, and Burn, lost to Pillow Fort and Dredge. So anyway, hopefully you enjoyed. On the left there'll be links to more videos of mine. On the right there'll be links to, there's a link to more Goryo's Vengeance decks, and in the center there'll be a link to subscribe if you enjoy and want to watch more content. Also, if you want to follow on Twitter, I will post the deck list that I play to let people know whenever I post a new deck list. Have a good one.